Staying in the Republic of South Africa, aid organisation Gift of the Givers has confirmed that its medical teams with specialised equipment are heading to Turkey following the devastating earthquake there. On Monday, an earthquake with a magnitude 7.9 on the Richter scale hit the south of Turkey as well as northern Syria. The death toll is standing at more than 15,000. The aid organisation says search and rescue teams as well as medical teams will help with rescue and humanitarian aid. Now, joining us from Pietermaritzburg in South Africa, we have Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman, the chairman and founder of Gift of the Givers. He joins us to shed more light on this. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Sooliman, and thank you for the good work you and your team have been doing.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on the show again.
Now, Dr. Sooliman, we understand your teams have been dispatched to Turkey and Syria to help. What can you tell us about the latest there and the help your teams are offering?
Well, there's two parts to this. In Syria, we always had a team there. We established a hospital in the north of the country, a place called Darkush, not far from the province of Idlib. We set up a hospital in 2012. That hospital had served up to currently 30,000 patients a month. On Monday, when the earthquake struck, we started getting from parts around the hospital, from areas where the earthquake struck, 6 different districts and many villages were affected. Patients started coming in, many were deceased, and in the first day alone we had more than 200 casualties. We've got a hospital called Al-Rahma, with 5 blocks. We also have a second hospital called Hilal on the border of Turkey, in between Syria and Turkey border on the inside. We used it during the war when the bombing was too intense, and we shut it down when things quieted down. But now with the earthquake, we reopened that hospital, and we have teams. I have 320 personnel in those 2 hospitals serving the people of Syria. That's the first thing. The second thing is that my team members have gone out to assist in search and rescue, and quite a few of the patients that are coming out are brought to our hospital. Thirdly, we're providing meals for the search and rescue personnel, for the drivers, and for the refugees or those of the victims affected by the earthquake itself. And finally, in Syria, we send out medical teams to other hospitals that are battling to manage, and our teams assist in that way. That's in terms of Syria. In terms of Turkey, our first search and rescue team landed there yesterday morning. We sent them out on Tuesday night, 26 of them. Right now, as we speak, they're battling to get to the earthquake zone because they've been waiting 5 hours in traffic. It's congested. The airports are not functional. It's a huge problem to get on site. We had to fly to Istanbul, from there to Adana, then a road trip to Hatay. They're almost there, but it's a short distance, taking a huge amount of time. This morning, we flew in a second team, an additional search and rescue team of 6 personnel from South Africa, and we flew in 2 doctors that are part of our team, one from Denmark and one from Australia. What we're waiting for now is permission or an opportunity or a place where medical teams can work. Unfortunately, all the hospitals are damaged, or totally destroyed. You can't put medical teams in the earthquake zone, and that's the part we're dealing with right now.
Quite a devastating situation, if you ask me, and logistical operation for your team and other rescuers working to bring some succor to the victims of the earthquake. Now, Dr. Sooliman, what's the state of the mind of the personnel, of your team members looking at the situation on ground, the adverse weather conditions and the level of devastation? What's their morale like?
My teams are very enthusiastic. This is not the first time they had an earthquake. In 2005, we had an earthquake in Pakistan, but our first time that we had searched, that is only medical teams. Our first search and rescue intervention was in Haiti. There, in 40 seconds, 250,000 people perished, and the whole city was gone. There was looting, there was shooting in the streets. It was a huge experience for my team. And most of those team members are from the present, are from the past. We've been involved in the earthquake in Indonesia. We've assisted in the typhoon in Haiyan in Philippines, the earthquake in Nepal. So the teams have huge experience. And because they have each other to support each other, what makes a huge difference is when everything runs well according to plan. When you have diplomatic or bureaucratic hurdles, when the flights don't turn up, where nobody can show you where to go, where the accommodation doesn't work out. That affects the mind terribly. But from the moment we got to the airport, Turkish Airlines, the Turkish Embassy, Afad, the authority that receives people for disaster management in the airport, the police, the security, everybody have been absolutely wonderful. All the arrangements have been perfect. It's just the difficulty of getting currency inside the Dara because there's no functional banks. That's a bit of a challenge to buy additional equipment that we require and foodstuff and fuel for generators for our machines. But we're finding a way around that also. But overall, the morale is excellent. People are waiting, they're willing, they can't wait to get on site. Our only challenge is we're not used to minus 10 degrees, but so much of snow and rain and cold weather. That's going to be our biggest challenge.
Thank you, Dr. Sooliman. Finally, before I let you go, I'm glad you talked about the experience of your team in past rescue operations and operating in earthquake zones. Now, how has the reception been? I know you touched a bit about it from the Turkish people. And what is the motivation for your team in putting your lives, your time, your finances forward to, to serve humanity?
We're doing this for 30 years. And the more you do it, the more you fall in love with it. There's no greater blessing and satisfaction in the heart than to help people who are vulnerable and in distress. In fact, when my teams go, they say we didn't give anything. Actually, we received. We received the warmth, the love, the kind words, the praise of the people that we serve. And we always say to ourselves, had we been on the other side, what would we have expected from the world? And it's very easy to answer that question. Men, women, and children who are stranded, who are in hardship and difficulty. And let's salute all those volunteers from Turkey, more than 100,000 of them. And all those members that came from more than 60 countries, who are people they don't know, to come help and serve. If we continue doing this as a world, as a common humanity, we can only strengthen the relationship between humans and do good for the world. In terms of the destruction, 10 provinces have been struck. The city of Hatay, and there's one other city, they say it's completely wiped off the face of the earth. It's not there anymore. The destruction, some areas, 500 buildings in one area gone. The destruction is horrendous. It's probably one of the largest earthquakes we've ever had. We've already surpassed the figure. Past that figure already, and it's going to be much more than that.
I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman. Thank you for your time, and also please extend our regards to your wonderful team and the great work they're doing out there. And you have our best wishes always. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.